Cruise has been popular for almost our entire lives, and yeah, the man is rich as hell. He isn't just some ordinary famous millionaire. In fact, his net worth would practically blow your mind, which is the result of his long career as a constant A-lister. The dude has appeared in several of the highest-grossing films of all time, and we're too curious to let this slide, so let's look deeper into this. First off, his net worth is insane. Cutting to the chase, the American star net worth is around $600 million, and he didn't make all this money by just sitting around. The movies he's acted in have been the biggest source of his income. He made his film debut in the 1983 mega movie Risky Business and was paid $75,000 for his role in it, which is what set the actor off on his long, successful career. Eventually, his pay was increased to $500,000 for his very next role in the 1985 film Legend. But when he appeared in the 1986 hit Top Gun, that's when the actor truly solidified his place on the Hollywood A-list, and he received $2 million for the role of the steamy pilot Maverick. The star's pay only increased from there on, as he was earning $3 million for the 1988 film Cocktail and $9 million for his role in Days of Thunder. But all of that aside, his biggest paycheck was still yet to come, and from none other than the Mission Impossible franchise. He earned $100 million for the sequel, which is equivalent to his $100 million salary for the 2005 movie War of the Worlds. Can you even imagine being paid that much? Us neither. It was clear that his demand as an actor was reaching such high levels that filmmakers would pay any amount to have him act for them, and we can see why. Nobody could resist getting their hands on this exceptionally talented man. Following up, he's got many other financial milestones. Well, you can probably tell just how much this man makes if you look at his total earnings between 1983 and 2011. If we're talking about just movie salaries, Tom earned a total of $445 million. And that's not all, because he also earned an additional $300 million between 2011 and 2019, which would take his total earnings since 1983 to be close to $1 billion. Apart from the movies we've talked about already, there's the movie called Far and Away, for which he got paid $13 million. Similarly, he got $12 million for A Few Good Men and $12 million for his movie The Firm. He also made $15 million for Interview with the Vampire, and all of these movies are just the tip of the iceberg. Cruise starred in The Last Samurai, which grossed an outstanding $456 million worldwide. But that's also nothing compared to Maverick, which grossed above $1 billion. And the more successful the projects, the more he gets paid for them. Some of his other highly famous movies include Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, Vanilla Sky, Collateral, Valkyrie, Oblivion, and Edge of Tomorrow. He has always kept himself open to opportunities, but most of his movies are ones that he's probably incredibly proud of. And though we don't know how much he got paid for these specific movies, they were worth mentioning because he probably made a lot of money through them. Moving on, let's look into his Top Gun earnings. As we just talked about a moment ago, Cruise's paycheck for the 1986 movie Top Gun was $2 million, and after adjustments for inflation, this equates to approximately $5.4 million today. What's more is that surprisingly, those $2 million made up 13% of the movie's total budget of $15 million. During the production, one of the star's films called Legend flopped at the box office, which truly terrified producers Bruckheimer and Simpson. This film, on the other hand, was a tremendous hit, becoming the highest-grossing film of 1986 at $360 million. Now, move 3 decades forward to 2018 and 2019, when a Top Gun sequel was finally made after many years of gossip, speculations, and fan aspirations. All the credit was due primarily to producer Ellison, who founded Skydance. When he, being a Top Gun fan and pilot himself, started Skydance in 2006, the very first film he wanted to do was a sequel to Top Gun. The organization contributed 25% of the movie's approximately $200 million budget as soon as the stars were finally aligned. The project was planned to be launched in the mid of 2020, but it got forced to be postponed for 2 years owing to COVID. Tom was both the star and the primary producer for this film, and his base compensation was $13 million. And that's not all, because he's also entitled to 10 to 20% of the movie's first dollar gross profits as the producer. That is a pretty brilliant deal, one that other Hollywood stars could never land. Coming up, he earns through his properties too. As if he wasn't already earning enough, he has also been able to make a lot of money through real estate, and you're simply not ready to get into this. Tom has held several outstanding homes throughout the U.S., and he sold a $3 million East Village property on the 10th level back in 2013. He also sold a multi-unit home in the Hollywood Hills for $11.4 million in September 2015, and this property was purchased by Eva Longoria. His Beverly Hills mansion was also sold to the billionaire businessman Leon Black for $40 million in May 2016, for which Tom himself paid $30.5 million in 2006 when he bought it first and had still been married to Katie Holmes. He built a big mansion in Telluride during his marriage to Nicole Kidman in the mid-1990s, which is 320 acres in size. The main house is 10,000 square feet and features 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, horse stables, as well as a private helipad. He spent years pleading with the local airport to extend its runway so that bigger private jets could land, and in 2010 his wish was finally granted. This property got listed for $59 million in 2016, but it failed to find a buyer, after which he relisted the house in 2018, but still found no luck. Finally, in March 2021, he relisted the house at $39.5 million, and he eventually sold the property for that amount. And so you can tell that the man has earned a great deal through his own masterfully crafted properties. Up next, he spends a big amount on his faith. Well, he has all this money, but now we're curious to find out what he spends it on. Well, looking at his expenses, his beliefs seem to cost him a large sum. Cruise is distinct from other major movie stars in that he devotes a significant portion of his earnings toward his involvement in the Scientology Church. In fact, according to Business Insider, he has already spent more than $25 million on sustaining his position in the church. According to a different story, Scientologist devotees typically pay a significant amount for their attendance. Mandatory therapy sessions, known as auditing, within the business can cost as much as $800 per hour, and courses are also pretty pricey, as they reportedly cost up to $650 apiece. Church members, on the other hand, are urged to send funds to Scientology in surplus to the minimum payments required to remain engaged with the organization. For example, it was verified that the multimillionaire Bob Duggan gave the church $360 million, and while Tom has only contributed a fraction of what Bob has paid the organization throughout the years, it is apparent that the actor is not hesitant to spend a significant portion of his earnings on retaining his membership in the church. Coming in, his house looks pretty damn expensive. Now, we can't hate this guy for wanting to live in a giant house, especially because he has earned so much. A thorough tour of Cruise's private property in Los Angeles would give viewers an insider's glimpse of life from his perspective, and it's even more extravagant than you might think. The property is absolutely out of this world, with enormous gardens and 2 different houses. Each of Cruise's 2 homes has a distinct vibe and a distinct purpose. The first property is the largest of the 2, and it is what most people see when they think of a standard celebrity pad. The larger mansion appears to exemplify everything that comes under the umbrella of Hollywood living, with a massive martial arts gymnasium and a terrace with an expansive view. But his second home is a lot simpler, and it is the smaller one of the 2, with a fireplace and a comfortable living room area. We can tell that it is meant to be a getaway from the madness of Los Angeles. When we looked at it, we could instantly tell that this side of his residence is built for seclusion, somewhere you could go just to detach yourself from everything. The actor seems to have enjoyed juggling 2 sides of life, the glittery side of California flair and that wonderful homey feeling we so often get when we're in a secluded setting. The entire property is said to cost around $59 million, so now you know where all that money's going. Finally, he also has a boat phase. Could a millionaire even be a millionaire if he doesn't overspend on stuff he doesn't need? Although Cruise's Los Angeles house demonstrates that he makes all the typical Hollywood purchases, the star continues to spend his cash on completely bizarre things. If we were to talk about his most recent spending spree, the man just went and bought himself some boats. His intention behind this, though, has very little to do with sports sailing or even yachting. What happened was that he refused to suspend production on his latest Mission Impossible film, but because of COVID-19, the actor's let the show go on mentality was just implausible in most situations. According to the sources, Cruise chose to spend around $650,000 to rent some cruise ships to accommodate film crew personnel. Now that's just a lot of money. And that's a wrap, folks. What do you guys feel about Tom Cruise's earnings? Tell us in the comments below. And as always, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more updates on your favorite stars. And we'll see you in the next video.